Hi everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. So I am Aparna, currently serving as product manager in TechJockey. So today I'll be briefing you about HubSpot in this video. So what is HubSpot? HubSpot is basically a CRM tool, what we also use in TechJockey. Now what is a CRM tool? CRM tool is basically a customer relationship management tool, which helps us manage our leads. Leads, when we say leads, it's basically the potential customers what come onto our website, and we basically find that potential in those customers that they can actually give us closures and actually can complete our cycle from L to C, that is lead to closure cycle. So HubSpot is one kind of a tool what we use to manage our leads, so that various departments who are involved in the L to C cycle can actually access the leads, can actually see what lead cycle and what lead status the lead is in, and accordingly they can take their respective actions. So if I just share my screen with you and show you that how HubSpot actually works and what are the different segments, what are the different features it offers to different teams. Log in into HubSpot. This is the landing page or the home page what we see. So here are different tabs, as we can see: contacts, conversations, marketing, sales, service, automation, reports, asset marketplace, and partner. So coming back to contacts, as I earlier told you that it is basically a CRM tool which helps us manage leads. It's kind of a lead management system. So here in contacts, we are able to see all the contacts or leads which are generated from my website. Whether any source, be it chat, be it any HubSpot form, be it any non-HubSpot form, or any other forms which have been rolled out on my website, or any other source from where I want to try and capture leads. So this basically gives me a brief of all those contacts. Now when a contact comes into my system, it has various attributes attached. For example, it will always be having a name, it will always be having an email, phone number, and then the various other attributes what we can also set and what are sometimes set by HubSpot. So it depends. Not going deep into that. Now if I come to contacts here and see, so there is contacts, as I already explained. Then we have companies. So what is companies? Companies basically gives me the data of company associated contacts. So various contacts come into my system which have companies associated, like their domain is company specific. So it also helps me bifurcate that data from normal contacts to company contacts. Then we have calls data here and activities and lists. So list is basically we can create a list of our own of certain filters and actually use that list in various other features like workplace and workflows and reports, etc. So now, if you can see here, this is one view what I have created as per my convenience and use. These are various filters what HubSpot provides me to be applied on this view. When I go to more filters, I can any day apply any of the filter on any of the field I want and get the required data. Now coming to conversations. So in conversations, HubSpot basically gives me a feature of inbox, where if I associate any account of my company to HubSpot, it actually helps me in creating tickets from those emails, and it is mostly used in sales. So that is inbox for chat flows. So as we all must have seen that we have various chat flows on the websites. So these chat flows can any day help us roll out any chat flow on our website, whether it can be customized or it can be a normal flow. HubSpot gives us that functionality of using their chat flows in our website. So here we can go and create our customized chat flows. Then we come to marketing, an important section here. So whenever a lead comes into the system, marketing plays an important role in that lead from becoming user to lead. So this section basically tells me about all the landing pages that lead has come from and the email part which we actually want to send out to certain contacts. Then ads, social, website, whether it's come from blog, SEO analysis, then campaigns, various campaigns, marketing runs, then files, then lead capture. So lead capture can either be through some CTAs or through some form. So this is the form section of marketing segment. Here we have all types of forms. So if you can see the drop down, we have non-HubSpot forms, regular forms, pop-up forms, and blog formats. So what are non-HubSpot forms? So there are certain forms what we roll out on our websites but they're not actually rolled out from HubSpot. There are certain forms what we put from our backend, but we actually want to see the data which comes from those forms. So this segment basically deals with all those forms which are there on my website but are not rolled from HubSpot. Pop-up forms and regular forms are HubSpot forms, which HubSpot gives me a functionality that I can either use any of their form, whether a pop-up form or a regular form, and fetch details from there. So from here, I can just go and create any of the form I require and fetch the leads into the system. Now, once the marketing plays an important role in making the lead coming into the system, then comes the part of sales, where sales actually works on that leads and take them to the cycle of closure. So now what is deals here? So once a lead, it enters the system, our team needs to actually identify whether it is actually a good lead which can be converted into a closure, or it was just a customer who just came and gave me the information. So once I identify the lead that it can actually be converted into a good closure or a deal, then my team converts it into a deal. Now, what is a deal? So if I go on deals, it basically shows me those leads which have already been identified by my sales team and they can be converted into closures. Now, what is closures? Closure is something when I actually get the order from some lead, or the payment is done, or some partial payment is done, and finally the full amount will be we'll be getting from the customer. Now, when we come to deals, so these are the various attributes as we already saw in contacts, where we see the contact and its attributes. Similarly, we have for deals here that you will be having a deal name, you will be having a stage here, whether the proposal has been shared, or negotiation is to be done, or payment is done, or payment is to be done, and like close date, deal owner. So as I told you in contacts, it is somewhat similar, but obviously deals is going to have some attributes of its like contacts, which will not be same, but yeah, it's like deal name and deal stage. There are some primary attributes and then could be your secondary ones, which can be very customized, like owner and others as per your workflows. And similarly, we have here all the filters for all the fields. As per your wish, you can just go and put on the filters. Then when I come to sales, here we have forecast, then we have tasks. So what is task? So HubSpot also gives us a very good feature of actually aligning tasks to people. Like for example, if a lead comes into the system, as I already told you, there is a cycle which goes from lead to deal to closure. So there are various teams involved and various people involved who need to be aligned to make that cycle happen. So these tasks help us to basically align people for those tasks. So here I can just go and align somebody for some specific task, and it will be happening automatically through a workflow, which we will be discussing later. Then when we come to service, here is the segment of tickets. So as I already told you that we can attach an inbox to HubSpot, and support team can actually use it for raising the tickets so that they can resolve them in very real time and actually get back to the customer and give a good support. So tickets is basically when some query comes to support and support actually creates tickets for it and works on it. Now we come to automation, an important part where workflows plays an important role in any system. Now, what is a workflow? Workflow is basically an automation what we do in our system to make things happen. For example, there is a lead which comes in my system. Now I have certain teams involved to do that particular cycle from L to C. But how do I align people? As already said, that various people need to be aligned, various tasks need to be aligned to people to actually complete that cycle. Now, how do I do that? I cannot do it manually for every lead because there are n number of leads coming in my system. So what do we do is we go for automation. Now, what kind of automation this workflow gives us is that we can fetch the leads, its attributes, and we can do any kind of automation we want on that lead. For example, I wanted to assign it to someone, I want to send an email on that lead, I want to change the status of that lead, and XYZ. All kind of automations can be done on any lead using these workflows. So these workflows are very, very important and very, very convenient and very, very, you can say an important part of HubSpot because it actually helps in aligning the system in a very good way. Like a process. It's basically used for creating a process. It's basically used for creating a system within the system. And these are certain workflows and other attributes of workflows. Then again, very, very important segment is analytics. So we all know that whatever system we work in, whatever system we follow, ultimately it's all about the data we got, the data we analyzed out of it, and the next actions we take on that. So it's very, very important for us to have certain kind of reporting, certain kind of dashboards where we have data. So leads is all related to my data. So I anytime need good set of reporting within my CRM, so that I can see that what's happening to my leads and what actions are taken, what category it came on, what product it came on, and so many others. So when I go on reports, HubSpot gives me a very good option of creating very wide and very variant kinds of reports. So there are basically single reports, there are double object reports, then there are cross reports, and some new reports have also been added in HubSpot. So this is the report segment which opens when we click on reports, and here you can see all your reports which exist, like whatever report somebody made. Here we can see all the reports and all the related attributes like reported, what is the dashboard if somebody has attached and reported to, and these are the overall reports what we have, like single object, cross object. Now the question comes that what is single object and what is cross object, and when do we need to use it and why do we need to use it? So first of all, if you see what do you want to report on, first is single object, then custom report, then cross object, then funnels, and then attribution. So covering one by one. First, single object. Single object means that, as I told you, there are contacts in HubSpot, there are deals in HubSpot, there are company associated contacts, there are activities, tickets, and so many things. So now when I want to create report on any one of the object, then I'll go on single object. For example, I want to create a single report related to some attributes of contacts or some attributes of deals. So I'll be using this report. Now another comes when there is some data what I have and I have to actually customize that report. So that customization can be done through custom report, as the name suggests. Then come cross object. What is cross object? Cross object is when I have to make a single report, but it should have data of two objects. For example, I want to create a report of the entire cycle from lead to closure, which means I obviously need to take contacts and then I also need to take deals. Now, if I go to single object, I can't create it in a single report, though I can create in two different reports. So cross object helps me when I want to create a single report, but I want two objects. So then cross object is the thing. Then funnels, there are certain funnels, there are certain stages which contacts deals follow. So this is basically for the life cycle stage or basically for the lead status or deal status, the deal or lead isn't. And then attribution, like what activities actually happened, what interactions actually happened, how that lead came into the system. Apart from the attributes, there is certain life cycle what a lead has, there are certain activities what a lead does before coming in the system, after entering in the system. So this report deals with that. So most important and most used is the single object. So I'll be briefing something on that. First, I'll be taking contacts. So I'll be creating basic report on contacts and just letting you know that how you can create a very basic report. So this is the layout of the report section. So first and foremost, we have filters here. So any report can have n number of filters, can have whatever filter you want, like date filter you want or any filter on any field you want. So you can anytime go and choose any of the filter of your need here. You can click on add filter, select any of the field you want, and after selecting the field, select any of the value of that field you want and click on hide filters. Now, once the filters are applied, these are basically the columns. Now you can treat it as an Excel. This is an Excel where you have 2-3 fields, where you want to have 4 to 5 fields to actually analyze them. So this add contact property gives you a feature where you can add n number of columns from here, and when you add, it will be automatically reflected. This is when you actually want to analyze the data in a dump kind of a thing. Now there are certain reports where we want to have a visualization, where we actually want to see the trend, the flow, what's happening, the count. So then this comes in picture, visualization. So if you can see here, we have certain formats, bar, then we have column, then line, area, donut, pie, summary, and table. So these are certain formats in which we can represent our data, similar as to what we used to do in PowerPoint earlier. So now for example, I'll be taking just any of the attribute here, I'll be dragging it on top, and then I want to see the count. So this basically reflects life cycle stage as my attribute and the corresponding contacts to that attribute. So it is actually giving me a specific number. So this is how I want to represent my data. Now if I want to represent my data like this, it's going to happen like this. If I want to represent my data like this, it's going to show like this. So it all depends how my representation wants to be. So visualization is more of representing the data, and data is more of actually analyzing the data, having the data of what data is actually required. Then we click on save. Once you click on save, it basically asks you for the name of the report you want to save. Then if you want to add it to some dashboard. Now what is a dashboard? Dashboard is basically a place where you can have 3 reports at one place. So dashboard is nothing, just a place where you can keep 3 reports together. So if you want to add, it's fine. If you don't want to, just click on don't add and click on next. Once you click on next, it asks you what actually permissions you want to put on that report, whether it should be private, whether it should be public, or it should be specific. All 3 are there. So for now, if we go for public, then we click on save. Once I click on save, the report is saved and my report section. Now whenever I want to view this report, I can always go to reports and view my report, where I can put a filter as per owner or as per assigned or as per last updated, whatever is convenient. So this was the major part of it, what we covered. Rest, there are so many other things existing in HubSpot, but from a beginner point of view, I think this would be enough, and it's going to help you in actually covering the cycle of a lead, in actually understanding the lead cycle, in actually maintaining the lead cycle records, in lead management. So yeah, this is all about it.